So it's all about change and identity and ego. And oh yeah, so this piece is called Ego. And that's what it's about. Starting in the top right hand corner. Actually, you know what? Starting in the center. So the whole entire beginning of this piece was this face and the idea that we are built. Oh my God, hold on. How do I put this into words? This is the whole entire concept that we are a people salad. We are made up of different parts of different people we've met throughout our lives, whether that is our family and we share the same genetics, or it's the people we've met along the way. It's people we love, people we hate, people we're inspired by, celebrities even that you like, or characters made up in a series. You know, whenever you like watch a series and then you take on the personality of your favorite character in there, or let's say you're spending a lot of time with someone and then you'll start to laugh the same. Well, that's just entanglement, you know? And so we take in all this information and then we make it a part of our identity. I don't think anyone has necessarily a true self, because you can't be you without everyone else you've ever met. So I'm editing the video right now, and I just wanted to add that, like, if you were born in completely different circumstances, you would be a completely different person. You wouldn't be the same exact version of yourself, even if there would be a lot of similarities. So the you that you are is subjective to the life that you've lived until today. Just wanted to add that interjection. And then you get into genetics, and your entire ancestry, your entire lineage lies in your DNA code. Like, the reason your hair sits this way, the bone structure that you have, or the skin condition you have, health conditions, mental conditions you have, like the way you speak, the gestures you make, even your mannerisms, or certain behaviors you learned along the way, even subconsciously. So all of it is very interesting, and I think that we're actually just a person salad. You don't have a true self. This come to me many times, this concept, but one particular experience, I accidentally took too much of an edible, which I'm sure you've all been there. And I was at a music festival, and I started feeling it kicking in, and I was talking to someone, and I was like, I need to sit down. And like, I was like, I need to be alone right now, because I was not prepared for all that. And yo, it had me tripping. Like, I was not expecting that. It just all hit me at once. And I honestly haven't touched edibles since then. It's been like 2 years maybe. I haven't fucked with it since then because I'm scared. But basically I was like dancing, and every single motion I made, it was like someone was puppeting me. It's like I had no free will. I had no choice. Everything that I was thinking or going to say or would say was all written out. I had no free will whatsoever. And it was all the people who I have in my life controlling every single motion that I could possibly do. There was no possibility that would be completely free from anything I've seen before. Like, you can't just do a new thing. That was the whole essence of that entire high, was just everything only came from everyone who's come before you. And so while I was dancing, I was a puppet on some fucking strings. And I've incorporated that image in a lot of different pieces. But the core concept of this is like my voice. I was just hearing my sister and my mom and my grandma. And then like the way I moved my body, I was just seeing everyone who I've ever watched dance before. Sorry, someone's screaming over there. They're just living their life, I guess. What if I screamed back? Yeah! I am 100% sure they have headphones on and they are listening to Screamo and they're actively screaming it out loud. And he kind of hid in that shit though. So anyway, every single like dance move I was doing was just kind of a copy of someone else who I've seen before. And I was like, yo, there's no original, like you can't just make up a move. Like I'm sure you could if you really, really tried, but it's like so many things have already been done before. So it's really hard to make a new thing, to say a new thing. And you can make up words, you can make up phrases, and like I'm sure we do this all the time. But in that moment, that was the whole entire thing, is like I can't do something that's never been done before. And the reason is because I've seen it before. It was really like not in myself. Like I felt very out of place in my body. And I was in my body. It wasn't like an out of body high, but it was very like derealized, very observational. And this is why I don't do the drugs anymore, is because it just leaves me feeling very not human, and I feel very observational. I feel like I should just be a plant, but instead I have movable limbs and then a responsibility to entertain and be like a fucking court jester to these people around me. Because like if you make eye contact with someone, they expect something. And then if they say something, they expect you to say something. Stop. I don't want that responsibility. No, there are times when I simply must breathe. There are times when I simply must observe. And because like, it's all a game. It's all a facade. You know, it's just a masquerade. It's just a masquerade. Everyone's just pretending. They're doing this like social waltz, and they're all like, high society, we're pretending to be human. But it's like, you're not actually. And I, frankly, when I am under the influence, I don't want to pretend to care about those things because I can't. That was one of those moments. And that's why I told that person, I was like, yo, I need to be alone right now. Can't do all this right now. And yeah, but I do like to, in my art, I like to create little creatures and give them backstories. And I tend to believe that they exist somewhere in the universe. I'm not sure if we can totally make something up that doesn't exist. I think maybe we're tapping into it subconsciously. And I think maybe somewhere in the universe, these creatures actually do exist. So I like to believe that every single thing I draw is real somewhere. I didn't bring my water, so I'm just drinking an energy drink. It's fine though, fuck it. So moving on, the central head doodad. It's on a rotating axis. So this is the axis, and there are little pieces. Like, you know those cubes at playgrounds when you were a kid that you'd spin it around and then like create your own like person, or like you'd play tic-tac-toe with the cubes that spin with the X's and the O's on them. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. If you don't know, that's fine, but they exist, I promise. So you basically spin these different cubes around and you get different combinations, and that's what these heads are. And then there's like one for a hand, and then there's like one for a brain. And so the brain one's very interesting because I think you have the ability to program your own thoughts, but you also subconsciously pick up a lot and absorb a lot, and you would have to be aware of those things before you could change them. Yeah, so it is kind of interesting because there are parts that you pick up intentionally, and there's parts that you pick up non-intentionally, and then there's parts that you can control, and then the parts that you cannot control. Like, I have major depression, always have, my entire life. It's not going to change. Like, and depending on who you talk to and what like you believe in, some people would tell me that like I can heal my depression, and I think, you know, that is possible. Because like I've seen videos of monks like healing cancer, and I do believe we can do literally anything with the power of, I don't have a word for it, but with the power of the universe, I believe that we can do anything, like levitate, live on prana. Like, I think we can do anything, okay? Heal all the wounds, like change your height, okay? I've done some insane things. I've seen some awesome things happen too. And I believe I could chemically alter my own brain, but I'm not putting in the work and I'm not interested in doing that. So that's why I'm sitting here saying like, oh, it's not going to happen, because like that's not something that I'm going to do. And that's not something I'm going to seek someone else out to do. And that's not something I'm going to sit here for like years to try to fix, because that's not a priority on my life. So I'll leave my depression as is. I'll just have it. So yeah. Yo, he really screaming. Y'all hear this shit? This dude out here screaming like music, and he's really hitting that shit, and he's been doing it for fucking hours. So yeah, believe what you want, and I'm not here to be like, you choose that for yourself, because that's not what I'm saying. Yeah, just let me be clear. Yeah, there are parts that you like can't change, whatever. And also, I'm definitely not going to step on anyone's toes who are sitting here like, I have this sickness, I have this disorder. You do. And I know that to those people, it's really, really annoying when people are like, you can just try this, you can just change this, you can just do that. So it's hard to voice my opinion on the matter when spiritually I think one thing, but empathetically, I don't want to push my beliefs on anyone. And I'm not here to tell anyone what they should believe. That's not the case. Yeah, I'm just trying to explain the ideas and the concepts behind my art. And if you fuck with it, you fuck with it, and you don't have to agree with it, and you don't even have to like it, but that's what went into it. And so I appreciate y'all listening to my pieces, because I really like explaining what goes behind them, because everyone can interpret it in a different way. So it's really cool to hear from the creator and be like, well, actually, this is what I meant. Like, this is what I meant going into the piece. Because every time I ask someone what they think it means, they give me their answer, and it's always something different. So it's very interesting. And I want to know what you guys would think this piece means without me explaining it. And then in the background, behind these little figures, you'll see the neurons, the neural network. And neurons in your brain, they basically make up, how do I put this? The universe, okay, as above, so below. The universe mirrors the little creations inside of it, because nothing is separate. So the neurons in your brain look just like the images we've captured with our looking eyes. What it looks like to us is neurons in the brain when you have the images of the universe. I don't think I explained that very well at all, and this is why I stick to art and not words. So basically, your brain look like space. That's what I'm trying to get at. Your brain looks like space, all right? But more than that, you look like space. You've seen the nebulas that look like eyeballs, and then like how trees will look like little fingerprints, and then how like, I don't know, bro, like different leaves will look like lungs, and different fungi will look like different organs or whatever. Like, you've seen it all, okay? The universe mirrors itself, because like I said, nothing is separate. It's all together. So you can't create something that's not part of it. You know, it's all part of it. It's all connected. So anyway, as above, so below, that's my point. My point is that, okay? And then there's the energy spirals, the yellow spirals connecting everything. It's all about bam, bam, like consciousness and like chi, like it's just the life force, you know, life force running through everything. And then you have the little portals, okay? And these are more like cells. And that was the whole idea behind this, was a cell. And inside the cell, you would have like a healing thing on one side, and then you would have a whole atom on another side, or maybe like a sentient being or something with its like energetic field around it, because like humans, we also give off a magnetic field. an energetic field, and so does every living thing. It also has an energetic field because we are made of more than just the material world. We're also made of energy. So yeah, that's that. But also it looks like it has rings because Saturn is my favorite planet, or like most influential planet, and I just like to draw planets with rings on them for Saturn and Uranus, of course. Okay, now coming out of this guy here is going to be different souls, and I got this concept from Hercules as a kid, where the souls were like living in what's the underworld called? Just the underworld, right? In Greek mythology, what's it called? The underworld? I don't know. Hades was like, these are my souls in the little soup of souls, and they're all lost and they're all tortured. And that's kind of what that is just like souls waiting to be reborn. And then so the drips, if you see here, the drips, it's dripping from different possibilities. So like different characteristics are going to go into these little droplets that are going into the conveyor belt. So you'll see here that this is the like actual machine. And then this is like personality, and here's a little conveyor belt. And then outside, once these are like taken in, then here's where your personality comes out. And it's just the word personality written with the limited space I had. And then on this side, it's going to be all of your beliefs that come from everything you've ever experienced in life. And so here's the machine, it's going to come out, and then that shapes your reality, because your beliefs shape your reality. Yeah. And so we have like the souls on one side here, and then on this side we have just like thought bubbles. It was the intention behind there, just different things you believe. So the souls are shaped up of like the people that have come before them or what they look up to, and then that shapes their personality and their characteristics and their traits, and then the ideas and the beliefs and the concepts you have and the lessons you learn is going to shape basically what you believe reality to be. Okay, so yeah, then you'll have the little spectrum. And this is the code. This is all of the information that you're sending into yourself, into your own genetics, as you program yourself and create yourself in this life. And then honestly, this was just like kind of filler stuff. This blue goopy thingy, it was just to connect one side to the other. Not a super deep meaning there. But yeah, this is just space, because space, I mean, we're all just space. Like pretty much, but basically just space. So that's what that is. And then the rainbow eyes in DNA form is to represent the whole spectrum of what's possible for us, because obviously in the light spectrum there's a lot more that we cannot see with our physical eyes. And so the rainbow is not the whole spectrum. It's not what's possible, period. It's just what's possible for us to see. Like if you were a fucking one of them shrimps, one of them rainbow shrimps or whatever the hell shrimps, mantis shrimps, I don't know, a kind of shrimp. It has more cones in its eyes, so we can see more colors than we can. Same with bees. They have more cones in their eyes, so they can see more colors than we can. So even just something as simple as having or reducing a cone in our eyeball would mean that reality would look completely different to us. So anyway, yeah, it's just about like the possibility and the spectrum of humanity. And then the eyes representing like different people. So I believe that each person that has ever existed and that will ever exist is one of the possibility of what you could be. And it is because consciousness extended itself and dropped into human form, or God, if you want to use that word, God became many. One became many. Basically the universe extended it, like shoved its hand through, and it's like just puppeteering as different people. Yeah. And that's what I think. So everyone around you is just different versions of what you could be. I think that all possibilities in the universe have to exist. I believe in the multiverse, and I believe that there are parallel universes and versions of Earth where Not only, oh, this is so interesting. So, how do I put this? This is what I'm telling you. This is why I fucking draw, because I can't put these things into words. So like, on Earth 1, this is me. On Earth 2, this is me. You with me so far? Both of them were walking the same road. This Earth, I'm like, should I go left or right? Well, I'm going to go left. This Earth, I'm like, should I go left or right? Well, I'm going to go right. And so that's the difference. Every single choice you make splits off into different possibilities. And I believe that in different universes, those possibilities have to happen. So that way, everything that can possibly happen, happens. And so you are living a different version of you in every single multiverse planet. And then every single person on this earth is just a different possibility of you. So then there's infinite possibilities of infinite possibilities. And I hope I explained that right. And then, not only that, in some other reality, you're probably living on a different planet and your skin's probably blue, you know? Like, you probably look different. And then that's where, like, aliens come in, is because those are just different options of what life could look like. Yes. So I just think eventually, I think from the beginning, the Big Bang, all things have to exist that could possibly exist until all of the options run out, and then eventually it'll return to the void, I guess. That's what I think. And that kind of creates like an eye shape. So I really love eyes. And they say like eyes are like the window to the soul. They say eyes are the window to the soul, so I like to incorporate eyes in everything because it symbolizes a soul and self and identity. And everyone's got one, so we can all relate to it. Okay. I meant identity, not eyes. Some people don't have eyes. And then moving on, we got the tree with its little roots and its portal. It's like sucking in energy and then creating like earth, you know. And that's what this whole planet is. It's just sucking in shit and out, I guess. I'm getting tired and I don't want to explain anymore. My words are limited. Bear with me. And then you'll see different planets behind in like the space region. Yeah, you'll see different planets. Like there's Earth and Mars and Uranus, and then there's a black hole over there. I don't know, bro. I was just drawing space, all right? Just drawing space. And then I have the Sri Chakra right here. I also have it on my wrist. What's up? And over what is kind of the Milky Way, going on to Earth with all the different possibilities of people on it. Like I said, eyes symbolize soul. Yeah. And then this is just like one example of what humanity is sitting over the Earth. So it's like, take all of your experience here and then what are you? You know, and then remove all of your experience here and then what's left. If it can change, is it the truth? Ponder that. If it can die and if it does not last, let it go. If it can die, let it go. Don't grasp so hard on stuff that can just die and crumble away. Okay? Don't believe that your identity is just what you think. Like, whatever you think you are, whoever you think you are, that's the story you've told yourself so far. That's not who you're going to be in 5 years, probably. Some people really stay the same and they don't do much growth. And that's just how they live in life. Me personally, like I said, lifetimes, bro. Lifetimes. I be living lifetimes. I go through identities. I go through phases. I live it up. I may be 26, but I've fucking been around, all right? I've learned some things. And that's just What happens when you're a student of life is that you're constantly learning, and so you're constantly growing, so you're constantly changing. And so your old selves are constantly like dying. They're not gone forever. It's just not the form you're taking right now. And then a little bit later in your life, you're going to be taking a different form. And that's how identity works. Hey, one day you're this person, and the next day you're a different version of yourself. If you can remove those layers, like if you ask people like, who are you? They're probably going to say, oh, I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a dog mom, like I'm a father, I'm a baker, or whatever my job is, like I work in real estate, or oh, I'm from this city, I travel a lot. Like they're gonna say their hobbies, they're gonna say their family status, they're gonna say their class status, they're gonna say their interests, they're gonna say all of these things that you feel defines who you are is not actually who you are. Those are separate identities you have, but it's not you. It's not the source of you. Yeah, because those things can come and go. Identities come and go. They are just labels that we use to describe ourselves. They're not actually who you are. And so all these little ideas of who we are, just let that go, because that's not you. It's just a descriptor of things in your life and things in your experience. And that's why we use them. And that's why they're helpful, and that's why they're important. Okay? So I'm not saying never use labels. No, I believe in labels. We should label things. That's how we stay organized. But just don't get too attached to your labels, because they could change. Yeah, so whatever it is, appreciate whatever comes now, and then realize that all things will fade. All things don't last. Things do not last, and they never will. People don't last. Things don't last. Life doesn't last. It changes always, and that change involves destruction and death. And destruction and death just make way for new things to grow. So yeah. Anyway, around the person is like an energy Taurus. And then here we have portals. I love portals. I love portals. And then here we have everything going in. All the data this is just like a data strip going technology inspired. And then, yeah, again, then you'll have like different planets. Under here, we got Saturn, some other planets. I don't know, bro. I'm just drawing planets. They're not anything specific. And then we have, so like back here where the souls were, right? Then we got them dropping down, and this is how they like get to Earth. So this is the portal that takes them. You didn't see that? This is the portal that takes them to the planet. So all of this is to say that you choose parts of yourself, you get identities, and you remove identities. And as you go, you're going to be changing a lot, and that is part of life, and that is natural. And so whatever big changes you're feeling like, whatever the next phase is, go ahead and go for it. If you really don't resonate with where you're at right now, and you really feel called to something or somewhere else, I think that's your soul speaking to you, or life speaking through you and being like, hey dude, here's a nudge, like you should do this next, like this is gonna be really good for you. I think we have very strong intuitions. I have a very strong connection with my intuition, and I listen and I follow, because I know that that's what's best for me, because that is spirit telling me the next best phase, or the next most helpful thing for me, and wherever I need to go next, whatever I need to do next, whoever I need to be next, that's what's gonna happen. Dude, I totally forgot I named it that. Oh, wow. Yeah. Anyway, well, I'm gonna skedaddle. I'm gonna get out of here. Oh God, I'm just looking through my pieces now. Okay, thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Yo, if I was Johnny Gilbert, I'd say stay happy, not crappy. Life's a bitch, don't quit. Peace out, Thug Pugs. But I'm not, so I didn't say that. Editing again. I also wanted to add, the choices you make now are the result of how you've built the way you make choices. So whenever you pick up these characteristics from other people, and when you pick up like thought pathways, you're using everything you've seen and you're gathering it, and then all of that data is like programmed into your autopilot. So whenever I'm drawing things like this and I'm just on autopilot, it's because I built up the neural pathways to make those choices in my art. The reason when I'm dancing and I'm in a flow state and I'm making certain moves is because over the course of years, I have dug my neural pathways to choose that again and again and again. And that's why I added the neural network in the piece. And that just all goes back to the spinning head cubes, is because you're not yourself, you're not your choices, you're not even you, like. And so part of it is like, oh, I feel called to do this, I'm just gonna let go and like listen. But also part of it is like, I don't even have a choice because it was all pre-built by the past. But it's also like, I do have a choice, because if I built it in the past, then hell, I can change it now. And I can, you know, like if I'm sitting here judging myself, well, I can choose to not judge myself. But also that requires like effort. And so if you put in no effort and you just go again and again and again the same path, you're like an ant colony. You're like the fucking farm, like ant farms. I don't know if y'all had those as a kid. I had like a gelatinous elf ant farm, and they just use the same tunnels again and again. And like, that's what works. That's what people do. They just use the same paths again and again and again, and they just keep following it, because if it's working, why change it? And like, our brain is not built to be 100% adaptive 100% of the time. It's not meant to be 100% go all the time. We have so much always going on that for most of our life, the brain is trying to be as efficient as possible with its energy. And so instead of finding a use for its free will, it kind of just does what's easy. And that's the thing. Hey, the path is already there. That's the easiest path to take. But you know, that old saying, take the path less traveled, that's how you're gonna use your free will. That's how you're gonna break these chains. That's how you're gonna break patterns. That's how you're gonna break free of your own limitations, is you have to choose a new path and keep doing that. And it's gonna take effort. It's not impossible. But in that high experience that I was having, I felt very predetermined. And it's a really shitty feeling. So yeah. Okay, editor me out. Oh yeah. So this piece is called Ego. And that's what it's about. Dude, I totally forgot I named it that. Oh. Wow. Anyway, well, I'm gonna skedaddle. I'm gonna get out of here. Oh God, I'm just looking through my pieces now. Okay, thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Yo, if I was Johnny Gilbert, I'd say stay happy, not crappy. Life's a bitch, don't quit. Peace out, thug pugs. But I'm not, so I didn't say that.